Bence hazırım ya. Ben Tutku Yildirim, Los Angeles'tan hepinize merhaba arkadaşlar. Yine tabii ki şahane anlık bir vlogla karşınızdayım. Ama bence bu video şahane olacak. Neden? Yaklaşık 1 saat önce bir mesaj aldım. Mesajda diyor ki, Tutku merhaba, benim ismim May. Almanya'da yaşıyorum normalde ama şu an Los Angeles'tayım ve bu akşam senin misafirin olabilir miyim? Bir gece konaklamaya ihtiyacım var dedi. Baktım hemen referanslarına, tık tık tık tık 51 tane referansı var. 51 tane referansın hepsi de böyle çok yıldızlı. Kendisi tatlı bir insana benziyor. Ben de dedim ki evet tabii ki seni bir geceliğine bu gece misafir edebilirim. Nerelerdesin dedim. Downtown'daymış. Birazcık uzak biliyorsun, ben Santa Amerika'dayım. Tamam o zaman dedim yakına gel seni alayım. Hem dedim birazcık etrafı gezdireyim şöyle madem misafirimsin ta Almanya'dan gelmişsin. Hem dedim bir vlog çekelim hem de bu gece benim misafirim ol. Şimdi onu almaya gidiyorum. Bu arada o vlog çekeceğimizden şu an haberi yok. Yani ben yine vloga başladım ama umuyorum sorun çıkarmaz da vloga devam ederiz. Hazırsanız videomuza başlayalım. Bu arada hani hemen kız almadan söyleyeyim de arkadaşlar yani ne alaka, nereden birinizi buldunuz, nasıl oluyor bu işler diye merak ediyor olabilirsiniz. Daha önce ben zaten İngilizce öğrenmeyle alakalı bir videoda paylaşmıştım bunu. Couchsurfing diye bir tane web sitesi var arkadaşlar. Böyle gezginler hani herhangi bir şekilde zaman konaklama için orada birilerinin koç yani koltuğunda konaklama yapabiliyorlar veya siz eviniz müsaitse siz eviniz insanlar açabiliyorsunuz. Aynı zamanda bunların etkinlikleri, buluşmaları oluyor. Yani demek istediğim şu, siz de şu an bulunduğunuz şehirde eğer bir couchsurfing aktivitesi varsa oraya gidip birileriyle tanışıp İngilizcenizi geliştirebilirsiniz. Eviniz müsaitse siz de birilerini ağırlayabilirsiniz veya size yurt dışına gittiğinde birilerine kalabilirsiniz. Ama tabii ki bunun için hani bir insanların birbirine güvenmesi için işte yorumlar çok önemli. Neyse şu an arkadaş geldi. Şimdi bir de tabii önce bizim buluşmamız lazım. Yani arkadaşlar ben zaten linke bir bırakayım bir couchsurfing'e. Oradan bir bakın, bir kurcalayın. Hep videolarda söylüyorum, meetup var, couchsurfing var. Hani İngilizce öğrenmenin, bambaşka ülkelerdeki kültürleri tanımanın bir sürü yolu var. Bunu şu an izlediğiniz şehir neresiyse orada bile yapabilirsiniz. Artık günümüzde internetin çok avantajı var. Bunları değerlendirmek lazım. Biz de umuyorum şimdi buluşacağız arkadaşlar.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome to LA, by the way. How long have you been here? Like 2 weeks?
1.5 weeks, maybe.
My name is Tutku, by the way.
May.
May, nice to meet you, May. So my house, kind of like a 4-minute here, not too far. You wanna go home right now? Leave your stuff, or do you wanna show around a little bit? What do you want?
We can go home.
Okay. So, which part in Germany are you from?
Bavaria originally. Now I live 1 hour north from Frankfurt in Marburg.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've never been in Germany. I'm from Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from, normally my hometown is Sparta, but I used to live more than 10 years in Istanbul before the here. Normally, my plan last summer going to Berlin, but you know, it's COVID happened.
Yes.
But a lot of friends, my town in Istanbul, moved in Berlin last couple years. You know, they are kind of like artist stuff. They like a social media, some artists. Cool.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Joshua Tree, but no, I think I'm gonna skip it and go to Vegas.
Oh, you wanna go to Vegas after that?
Yes.
So what do you think about for LA?
It's big.
Yes.
I'm not such a big fan of cities in general, so I'm more the nature kind of type. But I wanted to explore it, and yeah, as I said, I met nice people. So this is actually the only reason I go to cities, to meet people.
Oh yeah. Your state is
Bavaria.
Bavaria.
Bavaria, yeah, that's
Bavaria.
the state.
Okay. So how's the lifestyle in your area, your state? Like a compare in the LA, it is different, yeah.
So where I'm from, where I used to live is a house in the forest, so it's super different.
Oh,
it's just me, my house, and the forest. There is nothing around.
Okay.
So I've never lived in the city, so I can't tell.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really moved because I don't have a place there right now. But where I'm gonna go back is Marburg, and that's a small city, and it's super alternative. There are a lot of alternative people, a lot of people doing acro yoga and circus stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're really conscious about environment and those things. These kind of people.
Cool.
That's
It
why
sounds
I like
cool.
it. Yeah, that's a super cool place. Actually, it's the only city in Germany I like at all. Or in general I like, because I don't like cities, but it's more like a small fairy tale town. And the brothers Grimm used to live there.
Gotcha.
It always depends on what kind of people you meet.
That's true.
I mean, my circle of friends is probably different than the circle of friends of most people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Let's see, okay.
my opinion is usually different than the opinion from other people.
Okay. I can help you. Welcome to my home.
Thank you.
So what do you think? Do you like my house?
Yeah, it's cozy.
It's cozy. So how long have you been traveling all of in LA or also maybe in the United States? Or all the world?
Okay, so let's start with traveling at all. That was like 3 years ago.
Okay.
This continent since November and the United States since the 10th of January and
Cool.
LA since 1.5 weeks.
Okay, that's cool. Arkadaşlar ben şöyle bir kamerayı sabitleyeyim bir yere. Birazcık bir sohbet edelim, muhabbet edelim. Arkadaş çok heyecanlandırdı beni çünkü sizin için heyecanlandım. Diyeceksin ki abi ne alaka bizim için heyecanlandın? 5 kuruş para harcamadan dünyayı geziyor kendisi. Ben de 5 kuruş para harcamadan dünyayı nasıl geziyorsun anlat. Video izleyen arkadaşlarım, kardeşlerim de bundan ilham alsın. Onlar da para harcamadan nasıl dünyayı geziliyormuş onu öğrensin istedim. Hazırsanız biz hikayemize başlıyoruz. Okie dokie.
Our trousers are matched.
Huh?
Our
Oh
trousers.
yes, we are the match. We just for met maybe less than hour ago, yeah? Yeah, less than hour ago. And she just for text me in the couch surfing. Hey Tutku, my host canceled last minute in Joshua. Can I stay with you tonight? And tomorrow I will go Vegas. Yes, why not? This is your house today. We just for little bit for talking before the shooting, maybe less than 1 hour, but I'm really inspired for her because she's like 23 years old, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
When you started traveling on the like a world?
When I was 20, like 3 years ago.
And the 20. What is your first city or country when you're traveling?
The first place I ever went was Portugal.
Okay.
And from there I started hitchhiking all over Europe.
That's cool. So you're from Germany?
Yes.
Which part again?
Bavaria.
Bavaria. Okay, this is not like a Bavaria like a beer. This is
Yeah,
that's one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, this is
It's
my
that
favorite
one.
things.
The leather trousers, the dress,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
Yes, yeah,
We have
cool.
different things too.
I know. So when I was in Turkey, very huge company in Turkey. They call like FSP Sun. So they are every October time, like FSP Sun, like Oktoberfest in Turkey. I am hosting some event.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 2 times I host like Oktoberfest in Turkey. I like your Bavaria. It is like a glasses. So which city you so far visit and what's your like a good experience, bad experience?
Which cities? Well, I can't tell because usually when I go to a country, I go like all across the country. So there are like many small cities in between. I've been to like kind of all the countries in Europe. Some a bit shorter, some a bit more.
Okay. So you start like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
How long it will be take and before the back to home, like a Europe trip?
So I've been Portugal, Spain, Morocco. Then I went back home to Germany. Then I went to France. Then I went back to Germany. Then I went like the northern countries like Poland and then Finland, Norway, like Scandinavian countries, all around that. And then I made a longer break in Germany. And this part, like to the eastern countries, I didn't exactly hitchhike, to be honest, because my best friend and his girlfriend, they bought a van and I
cool.
joined them. So this was my only van life experience in the Eastern Europe countries. So I went those countries by van.
Okay, cool. So you always do like a hitchhiking, yeah?
Yeah.
So for traveling.
Yes.
So how is work like hitchhiking? How is like a people behavior with you? So you waiting like a long or like a very like okay, let's do that, let's go to this location.
So it's different everywhere. Especially Spain is super hard, to be honest, because Spanish people, I don't know, they're kind of afraid of hitchhikers, to take hitchhikers. Also, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that they do anti-advertisement in the radios for not taking hitchhikers. But usually I always got a ride. There was one situation where I couldn't get a ride and I had to walk 10 kilometers.
Okay.
But apart from that, I always got picked up at some point, and
That's cool.
I met really nice people. I had great experiences just because I was hitchhiking.
No spend money for traveling, hitchhiking. So how you find like a place to stay? Okay, today, like a couch surfing. We already know that.
I did most of couch surfing, to be honest, but also I slept on the beach, I slept in the forest, I met people while hitchhiking that offered me a place. Sometimes there are bad days, and like I think the worst place I slept was in a parking garage in Hamburg.
Hamburg, okay, parking garage, but like your no tent.
Once I slept in the airport in my tent, but they kicked me out after a while.
You only spent money kind of food.
Yeah, I spend a little bit money on food, but that's really not so much. Also, I go dumpster diving a lot, which in the northern countries works so great because it's rich countries and they throw away so many things. Also, I tried it here in the US and it worked. Just only Mexico actually so far didn't work that well because it's a poor country and they don't have like proper supermarkets and. But yeah, dumpster diving works great.
What does it mean like a dumpster diving? I never.
You don't know it, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So it means you go to the big supermarkets and you check their dumpsters because they throw away everything which is like still good. Like the expiry date ran out and they throw it away. They throw away like a whole 6-pack of beer bottles, which is totally fine. You can still drink it. It's closed. It's perfectly fine. But it expired, so they have to throw it away. And what you do is you go to the dumpsters and you take it. Okay,
that's cool. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, for example, 100%, yes, today my guest, and I have some stuff in the kitchen, we are cooking like that. Mostly
also,
stuff.
people invite you. I really believe in that kindness works. So if you're kind to people, people are kind to you, and you give it back to other people. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same person, but sometimes when people come to my place, I invite them as well, and you give it forward, but maybe just not to the same person.
That's cool. So what's your best thing happen, like a best experience?
Oh, there's so many.
I know, this is too hard question, but first thing coming to your mind.
Okay, so there was this guy who picked me up, and he asked me, where do you want to go? And I said the place, and he was like, oh, but do you have time? And I was like, yeah, I'm not in a rush. And he said, okay, because I just opened a donut shop, and if you want, we can go to that donut shop, and I just give you a full box of donuts. So we went there, and that was pretty cool. Like, that was a small thing, but it was pretty cool.
That's nice.
And now I went home with people a lot of times. Like, we went to parties, we went to birthday parties, or...
Also, I just will check your Instagram. I will be sharing my followers. Guys, please follow her. She's a cool experience page in the Instagram. You should be inspired and you can contact for her. If you go to Turkey, probably my followers guests for you. If you want to share us, do you have like any bad things what happened before?
So I had one bad experience which was not super bad, it was just not so nice. You have to see in comparison, I stayed with like hundreds of people I met while hitchhiking. And this one bad experience is I was in a car with someone, and to be honest, I blame myself a bit for it, because when I saw this guy, I didn't feel comfortable, but I was waiting for a while and I thought can't be so bad. So I went in and didn't listen to my gut feeling, which actually told me to not go. So I went in the car, and at some point he put his hand on my lap. Okay. And I said immediately, I was like, no, okay, drop me right there. Now? And he did, and I went out, and
not in like a push me, not in like lock the door, not in bad things.
It was just that. I mean, it was not a nice thing to do, but nothing happened apart from that. So.
But you did more than 100 hitchhiking.
Yeah.
99% is good experience. Maybe less than 1%.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
And you have to really listen to yourself. Yeah, when you don't feel comfortable. I say no to a lot of people. People stop. I'm like, maybe I wait a bit longer.
Yeah, I know. Because you know that probably before you, I shared some video with before my guest. So she's named Julia. So she from in the Barcelona. But she, before the come to LA, she stayed in the 2 weeks in the Hawaii. And like a Hawaii, most of the people like a hitchhiking too. She told me, okay, Tutku, we always find very easy hitchhiking because 3 blondie German girl with us. Also, she's ginger, one Turkish man, his name John. When John hitchhiking, waiting long. But one like a 3 blondie, like a German girl with one a ginger Barcelona girl, hitchhiking is very easy. All the things about stay, because also me, when I came in Los Angeles 2014 first, 2016 last time I came to here, so 6 years ago. So that time I traveling all of the states. So I had a 1999 Toyota Camry. I traveling with car here to in New York. I stay a couple months in New York and New Jersey. When I back here, that time I have like a Honda Odyssey, kind of van. Even I just for we can try it like a both of them. Hey guys, we are come to like a Tennessee right now. Now we are in the Texas. Also when I come in here in LA, couple weeks, couple days, I tried. That time I had ex-girlfriends. Hey guys, we are in the couple. We need the place, couple days. Can we be host us? Nobody accept our request. But now you sent me like a very long text. You accept for anything. I said, it's me. This is my history. That's why I am traveling. That's why I try and like stay in the coach. So do you have any recommendation us how we text the people about like a couch surfing?
Yeah, I think that's very important how you send text messages, because people, I mean, they invite a stranger to their house, so they want to know whom they invite. So I would recommend to say some personal things about you, like who you are, what you're doing, then also maybe say what you're interested in, if you want to spend time, if you want to spend time alone, because people prefer if you are someone who doesn't make so much effort, or who wants to, people want to meet, so maybe you should tell what's your intention. And also then read their profile to see who is this person as well. And so they see you don't just send copy-paste messages.
Don't say
No, I mean, I always put a copy-paste part too, because of course my where I am, what I'm coming from, that stays the same. But also show them that you really read their profile and that you're interested in meeting them and not just want to have a free hostel. Yeah,
that's cool. That's actually because it's my way when I saw your text. So first thing I saw you have like a 51 reviews. It is good for me. Like
reviews are good to have.
It's important. All the things I reading very quick actually. So okay, she look nice. She went like a one night. It is not like a big deal. And tomorrow she will be leave. And it's like a last minute like a text me. I mean you necessarily need the house because like a 4 p.m. 5 p.m. almost dark. Okay, why not? For example, before you, somebody also texted me like a couch surfing, but he moved in LA and he requests like a 45 days. 45 days!
Yes. Wow!
So, it is crazy.
Okay, I think maybe this is not what couch surfing is for, to be honest.
Yes.
He wants a place to live for free.
Yeah.
So many things. Everyone has so much different life, and you can learn from every person something. Like now I'm doing this with you, and I didn't expect it, and that's super cool.
Yeah, and also it is many people watch for this video. They will be inspired. Some people will be happy. Some people may be judgment. You know that. But we can exchange our culture, kind of. That's why I like it, like a couch surfing. Maybe 10 days ago, I have like some Barcelona girl in here. She stayed like 4 days. So now I know about like a Barcelona. Even when I'm going to Barcelona now, I have a home in the Barcelona.
And when you come to Germany.
Oh yeah, thank you. Like a bring the beer, like a beer. My other question, so you already been to like a Europe, and now you already been in the United States. So far, which city your favorites? All of the world.
No city, but
area.
Finland.
Finland?
I think Finland, because they have great forests. I'm just a totally forest person.
Okay.
I have this tattoo here. Can you see it on the camera?
We can.
There's
oh, cool.
Forest.
Oh, cool. I will be.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
I did tattoos in other countries. Like I did this raccoon in Spain.
Oh, that's cool. This is really cool, by the way.
And actually, I did this tree. I did 2 days ago here in Los Angeles.
Congratulations, yeah. That's cool. You are 100% like a farm person, like a mountain person, yeah?
Not mountain, actually just forest. I really like forest. And that's why I love Finland so much. And also there was the special, do you know rainbow gatherings?
Rainbow, no.
So rainbow gatherings, it's like, it's a festival, but it's not a festival. Okay. So, but this is how we maybe can describe it to people who don't know. So there's a lot of alternative and kind of hippie people, like from all over the world. It's a community all over the world. And they meet every month from new moon to new moon. Okay. And they live together for 1 month in a nature place, like in a forest. Or it was recently, I was there in Mexico. It was in the jungle.
So they meet every month?
They meet every month somewhere in the world.
Okay, and you stay together 1 month?
1 month, and you live without electricity.
And next month, and different place.
It's always somewhere in the world. Somewhere in the world. And it's 1 month without electricity, without money, without time actually.
Yeah.
So you just live together, and those people, they are like super open, super loving, like they all hug each other all the time, and we sing songs together, we dance around the fire. And I was there in Finland, and it was like so nice in the middle of nowhere, a big fire, dancing around naked under the stars. And
that's cool.
Yeah. What I like best, Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon was like so amazing, just to stand there and to see how small you are and how like big this Grand Canyon is. I really like this feeling. It's like a special feeling that it gives to me. I don't know if other people have this too, but like to see this huge dimensions, like that's amazing. So that's the place I like best.
What do you expectation about your travel? You know, do you have an expectation or just for like a spontaneous? Because I know huge experience. Kind of I'm jealous for you right now.
So I don't really have expectation because I don't plan things. Everything I do is super spontaneous. So I meet someone, they recommend me a place to go, I go there. They go somewhere by themselves, I join them. So this is the kind of I like to travel, and this is also how it happened that I did all these things, like go flying, go whale watching, go to Grand Canyon, because people went there, or because people offered it to me, or someone gave me the idea. So, but I want to see a lot of nature places, and I want to meet people, so places and people. And yeah, sometimes I don't care so much about the place actually, it's more like the people I meet and the moments I can share, and I like that a lot.
Got it. So when you're traveling, what is your like best missing in your country?
Bread, German bread.
German bread.
German bread, so good.
So like a kind of what's it like a pretzel?
Oh yeah, pretzel as well. Pretzels are.
It's so delicious. Okay. This is not German. But I have a present for you, guys. Yeah. You know that we're from Turkey. We are always welcoming for anybody. And you missed the pretzel. Tonight, pretzel in the night.
That's so cool.
Now you are so happy right now. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Okay, I will be back, guys. I will be back.
That actually makes my day.
I'm so happy to hear that. Sürprizleri açız arkadaşlar. Okay, so tonight we are cooking some Turkish stuff with pretzel. By the way, what do you do in Germany? Do you have like any job, or you just finished the school?
So yeah, I finished school and I do poetry slam.
Cool. So you know that you'd like a poetry slam. What is that? I know right now. So because I'm an actor, when I saw your Instagram page, also your personal, I guess it's kind of stand up, but it's not stand up because maybe not often my country or in the here.
So it exists in America, definitely. There is poetry slams.
Okay, probably I don't know. It is benim cahilliğim. Okay, so what is that? Can you explain us?
So I write texts. They're in German, unfortunately, so I can't share them, though I would love to.
Okay.
So I write this text and then I perform them on stages, and that's basically it.
Okay, so for example, you're texting how long? For example, how many minutes you on the stage?
Maximum 7 minutes. There is a 7-minute time limit.
Okay, so 7 minutes, time minutes. So, but you make money for that. So you're now kind of like a famous for stuff.
Well, no, I would say famous. No, I won the Bavarian Championship though. So, I want to see so many places in the world, but to be honest, at some point, my goal is to have like a place where I can feel at home, like to have a house where I can make my own little paradise at some point, and that's something I'm dreaming about too. But
got it. So you're doing like a hitchhiking with couchsurfing. Also, you had an experience like a van life. So because mostly my followers also, I might think about, okay, when I'm doing some traveling, maybe I just for like buy some van, like a fix it my lifestyle. Do you like that? But also this is too hard too, you know, some maintenance, like a spent gas, kind of not safety.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, what is the different things or what's your experience like? Do you recommendation which kind of things more effective?
At some point I thought about getting a van, but this is, for me, it is not really fitting because I'm too spontaneous. I'm too much going here, there, whatever. And a van, as you said, it takes a lot of maintenance. There's a lot of petrol, so it costs. You have to actually spend money for the van. You can't avoid that. So, and I like to travel without money. Also, on one hand, you are more free because you can go wherever you want, but you definitely meet less people by going by van because you don't hitchhike, you don't couch surf so much because you have a place. I mean, on one hand, it's super convenient because you can go wherever you want. And sometimes there are places you can't reach that easily while hitchhiking, and then you have a van. But for me, the most important thing while traveling is meeting people.
Local people.
And that definitely gets less when you have a van.
This actually makes sense, yeah. Because van more comfortable, but couch surfing, because you have a lot of couch surfing and hitchhiking experience and different kind of people, different experience. But even when we have like a still kind of like a comfort zone. Maybe when I have a van, I can do couch surfing like my van.
Yeah.
But still not local people, not local experience. Okay, got it. Well, thanks so much. I really enjoyed this interview. So before we cut this interview, do you want to say anything in my followers and my watchers?
Okay, I really, like, if you want to do this, if you want to, or actually, even if you don't want to do this, I think kindness is the most important thing. Like, I think actually that everyone should go for a while with a backpack and just travel the world, or actually even just travel in their country without any kind of plan and just by themselves to get out of the comfort zone and to experience how important it is to just be nice to each other, because kindness is like the most precious currency we have. I think this is a super
especially my country.
important thing.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Guys, I will be put her Instagram in here. Follow her.
I recently changed actually my text to English. Before I was writing them in German.
Yeah.
Because I just made it like my Instagram. I actually just made like a diary for my friends because they ask me all the time, where are you? What are you doing? Send photos. And I was like, okay, I make this Instagram page. So I post photos from where I am, what I do, and I write this text. And actually, like, the texts are the important part for me because I'm a writer anyways. And I recently changed them to English. So now other people can read them.
Okay, good timings. Arkadaşlar sonrasında da hani bu videoyu izledikten sonraki paylaştığı ilk fotoğrafın altına da bu videodan geldiğinizi söyleyeyim. Tabii ki nazik ve kibar bir şekilde. Selamımı söylerseniz de şahane olur. Videoyu izlediğiniz için çok teşekkür ediyorum. Ben couchsurfing yapmaya devam edeceğim. Zaten hani diğer videolarda görüyorsunuz. Sadece couchsurfing değil. Başka şekillerde de hem evimde hem sokakta tanıştığım insanlarla bu tarz interviewler yapmaya devam edeceğim. Hani neler merak ediyorsunuz? Nasıl deneyimleri size paylaşmamı isterseniz onları da yoruma yazabilirsiniz. Video izlediğiniz için teşekkür ediyorum. Zaten her videonun sonunda söylüyorum. Like atmak, yorum yazmak, abone olmak sizin göreviniz, sizin işiniz. Çok teşekkür ediyorum. Kendinize iyi bakın. Hoşçakalın. Bye bye. Thank you so much. It was a great meeting for you. It was an amazing interview. Thank you.
You asked good